Okay. One, two, three, four, five.
Good evening and welcome. I'm Randy Kluver, and it's my privilege to serve as the Dean of the School of Global Studies and Partnerships at Oklahoma State University, and I'd like to wish everyone a warm welcome, both those of you in the room with us as well as those watching online. And we have a very special event tonight, one that I've been trying to make happen for a number of years. The arrival of 125,000 Vietnamese refugees to the U.S. in 1975, just over 46 years ago, was among the most dramatic evacuations undertaken by the U.S. government. In many parts of the country, this resettlement was full of tension. Many in the U.S. feared that the new arrivals were actually enemies in disguise, and some of the arrivals faced blatant racism, crime, and abuse. In some parts of the U.S., the new arrivals were resented for their impact in job dislocation and economic issues. Overall, however, the U.S. nation welcomed the arrivals and they prospered in their new homes. In spite of the difficulties of this resettlement, they quickly established themselves as citizens and brought economic growth to their communities. According to research by the Migration Policy Institute in 2019, Vietnamese immigrants reported a median household income of $70,000, while the total foreign-born and native populations had median household incomes of $64,000 and $66,000 respectively. Vietnamese immigrants were significantly less likely to be uninsured than the foreign-born population or the native population. They were roughly twice as likely to have private health insurance than public coverage. Vietnamese immigrant adults participated in the civilian labor force at the same rate as all immigrants, 67% versus 62% of the U.S.-born adults. These figures illustrate just how successful these immigrants have become. Now we're looking at another wave of evacuees, this time from Afghanistan. When Nguyen and I met this summer and I invited him to come and give this talk at OSU, we had no idea what was coming around the corner. But now we're looking at very similar challenge, and I'm delighted that by reflecting on his experiences that he'll share with us this evening, it gives us an opportunity to think more deeply about the challenges faced by these new neighbors. I have asked Mr. Nguyen to share the challenges he faced, what it was like to come to the U.S. as a refugee, the good, the bad, and the ugly, so that we might better understand the challenges he faced and how he has prospered in the society. It took me a while to track you down. When I first heard about your experience, when I moved back to Oklahoma 4 years ago, I heard about his story, and it took me a while to track him down. And since then, of course, it's been a delight to get to know him. I've wanted to meet him since I heard that. Nguyen graduated from Central High School in Tulsa in 1980 and earned his bachelor's degree in MIS from OSU in 1984. Maybe you'll talk a little bit about that challenge. He opened the first Jimmy's Egg, a restaurant that offers American dishes for breakfast and lunch, in March of '87, and the chain now has 54 locations in 7 states. He's a very good friend of Oklahoma State University, serving on the advisory board of the Hospitality Tourism Management Program. And so tonight, the School of Global Studies, along with the Spear School of Business, are very, very pleased to welcome Mr. Nguyen. Please.
Class 2713, 30-something years ago, that I was able to do this. But no, it's such an honor to be here tonight, kick off the International Week with the Global Study and the Business School. We probably seen the recent event in TV and stuff about the Afghanistan collapse. And you see people run off to the airplane and get on the airplane while they're flying off and fall off to their death. And you see pictures of the soldier. No, I mean the one in Afghanistan dad handing the baby to the U.S. soldier. And when I saw that personally, I'm just have big flashback of what happened 46 years ago. The same thing as Vietnam collapse. I mean, the same thing. People climb over the fence at the embassies and airport and trying to get out. And U.S. had 13 people die at Afghanistan, And at Vietnam, we had 2 Marine dies in Vietnam. So it's just an instant replay. It's just it's a flashback, but for our case, that's what I'm going to try to speak about tonight. I mean, those people that refugee, they just want to have opportunity to live, or opportunity to have a better life for their family, and that's what, that's all they're trying to do. And like I said, I'm going to tell you about our situation. My dad was a high-ranking officer in the Vietnamese government army, and 10 days before the Vietnam collapse, his friend, his name is Edward Boyce, he is like a CIA officer. He came to the house and told my dad, hey, this war is over. You need to make plan to leave or escape the country. So after a few discussions, my dad decided, can you take the 2 youngest children? We have 8 kids in the family, 4 boys and 4 girls. And I was the number 7, next to last, and my sister was the youngest. She's sitting right over there with me. and my dad just said, why don't you take my 2 youngest ones, because I might stay here and fight the war or do what I need to do. So Mr. Boyd decided, okay, I will do that. So my mom went in and packed a little duffel bag with some of our clothes, and we went with him. And soon we got there, he put us in the trunk of the car to drive through all the security checkpoint at the airport. We didn't have any paper or anything. We just had to go, and next thing I know, he popped the trunk open, and we right next to the big old airplane, the C-130, that big airplane, and his wife was standing right there at the door waiting for us, and he threw my sister up there, and he threw me up there, and of course I did not speak in English, and I started crying right there. I was just crying, and he was saying something in English. And a few years later, after we met again in Colorado Springs, I asked him, what did you say to me when you throw me up the airplane? He go, what I say to you is, I promise to get your rest of the family out. So sure enough, 7 years later, we was my sister and I was dad that, hey, it's over, time to go. So he got the whole family out. Like I said, there's 8 of us, so 6 siblings, and we united at the Philippine airport, and he kept his promise to get us out. And from there we flew to Wake Island, and then we went to Fort Chaffee, Fort Smith, Arkansas from there. And that's when they established the refugee program for the Vietnamese people, and that's where they process. And average family, refugee family, they would stay there about 5 months. A lot of charity program, charity group, they would come in and teach the family English, work skills and stuff. But for our family, my dad didn't want to stay there long, so it took us 5 days to leave Fort Chaffee. We got a sponsor by individual. He not part of any Catholic church or any program. He just an individual. He owned a full-service gas station. His name is Mr. Earl Stilley, and he had a couple purposes. Of course, he feel like he needs to sponsor a family, but at the same time, he went to the camp and he see the big family with 4 boys there. Here you go. That's my free labor. So he packed us all up, and we don't even know what Tulsa, Oklahoma is. He packed us up, went to Tulsa, Oklahoma, and we became the first refugee family that arrived in Tulsa. And this is May of 1975. So when we got there, he put us, 10 of us, he put us in his 2-car garage, and I think there's a room upstairs, and he packed us all in there. And for a few weeks, we woke up at 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. We go to his gas station, and he make us work and do different things. And one thing about what I love about the Oklahoman, we was in the TV, all 3 station TV, newspaper. We got a lot of publicity out of it. First refugee arrived and all this stuff. So his gas station was probably 4 or 5 blocks deep of people want to come to see us, to donate money, and it was awesome. I mean, they come to help. They donate money, clothes, bedding, all kind of stuff. And some gentleman gave my dad a car so he can get around. But after a few months, my dad said, "Oh man, time to move out." We another story we don't want to get into, but he decided to move out away from Mr. Stilley. And of course, a few months after, August, we all had to go to school, of course. And the 3 older siblings, they had to help mom and dad to go work and support the family. And my 2 sisters, they was lucky. They got these Catholic nuns. They took them to a school, prep school, girl prep school. And 2 of my brother went to high school together, except for me. I had to go to enroll 8th grade at junior high school called Tulsa Roosevelt. And I, of course, this might be a sad part of my story. I cry almost every day when I had to go to school because I couldn't, mentally, I couldn't understand any English. I mean, I was enrolled 8th grade, but I probably have a kindergarten or the best 1st grade level English. Okay, and I didn't understand the routine, how the school worked. In Vietnam, in junior high school, you sit in a classroom, and the teacher will come to you. You're stationary. But U.S., you come to the teacher, so no one teaches me that after this class you had to go wander around the hall and go different classes and stuff. So the transition was really tough. And of course, physically, I got a lot of bully and abuse out of that. Okay, I come home with a bloody nose, cut lips, cut eye. You're too ashamed to tell your family, hey, I got beat up in schools and bullied at school. I remember some kid, I remember he said, "Oh, I just beat up Bruce Lee today," because back then Bruce Lee was a big thing. So 3 weeks, a month later, I decided I will fight back. Okay, I'm going to fight back. So I cut the broomstick out, 2 sections. I put a chains in the middle. I make myself a homemade nunchucks. Okay, and so I sneak it to school, brought to the locker room, left there, and sure enough, one day, those 3 same guys come to me, and I was ready. I went nuts on them, and from that day on, they not mess with me no more. And another thing is, from that day on, I make a lot of friends, because they say, "Hey, this kid pretty cool." But anyway, that's from there on. 5 years later, just like Randy say, I graduate Tulsa Central from 0 English to graduate high school with honor degree. Okay, but my ACT test score was so low. I scored 12. Okay, and thanks God, Oklahoma State University, only school that accept my application. Okay, and the first year of college, I was doing real well, just like a normal student. And the second year of school, well, here's come the fun part. I discovered Eskimo Joe on Monday night. Everybody, stand clock right here. I had to pull that. He's a good friend of mine. And of course, I listen to God Brook at Willie every Wednesday. I mean, I can sing his song. I got friends low places. When the whiskey drowned. No, I'm just joking. That's some other time for that one. And of course, and then 2-stepping at Tumbleweed every weekend. Okay, so and meantime, I was kitchen manager for Lambda Chi Alpha fraternity. So I had a lot of fun that whole year, and and sure enough, that end of that second semester, I received a probation letter from the business school. I got 1 point GPA for that semester. I had a lot of fun. I mean, so they got that letter. They say, if you don't do any better, you either had to quit school, I kick you out of school, or you had to change major. So I thought back this summer. I go, that's all right. I will join the Marines. Okay, so I went to the Marines, filled out paper, and lo and behold, I failed the physical. My mom, she had 8 kids, so she didn't have much chromosome left. So I have a bad back. My back, if they have a draft that year, that I would get to go because I have a bad back. So there go my plan B. I didn't have a plan B. So I guess what? You better rethink, and of course, the school gave me opportunity to better myself. So I decided, okay, I better hit the books and start studying and so on and so forth. And 4.5 years later, I finally graduate with MIS degree at 2.17 GPA. and well, you know, didn't take me long. Didn't take me long to got a job, and I worked for this company called Southwest Tube. My two dear friends here tonight, me and Ashley, they work with me at Southwest Tube, and like I said, didn't take me long getting a job, and a few years later, the 1986-87 stock market crash, the Black Monday they call it. You know, oil was $5 a barrel and so on and so forth. And I need to make a change, so my wife and I decide to move to Oklahoma City to open a restaurant called Jimmy's Egg. And my first restaurant I opened, I maxed out my credit cards. I put all money in my savings, and it cost us $29,000 to open that restaurant. And then 2 years ago, I just opened a restaurant with my son. It's cost us $2 million. so see the difference. But and you know, my wife, she was waitressing, and I was cook. We worked 7 days a week for the longest time, and the rest is history. I mean, we keep building, and like you say, you got 50-something in 7, 8, 9 states, and I kind of lost track. It's you know, I mean, life is all about opportunity, and you know, I'm not any special person with extraordinary gift and thing. I'm just the guy that able to take the opportunity that came to me and make the most out of it. Okay, you know, nothing came dropped my lap. Nothing came given, and with the family and stuff. I know it's very hard to talk about your life story. It's just, but you know, long story short. I mean, it's just the you're trying to make the most out of your opportunity, and for a little closing here. I mean, I like to share something with what I call 3 Ds. I mean, I use this for my business world or my life in general, that the first D stand for dreams, okay? Dream means you set a goal, you dream big, you set a goal. You know, I remember when I was young, driving around Tulsa. We live in, I hate to say, the poor part of town. And I always drive around where the rich neighborhood. I go, one of these days I live in that big house. Or you have to have that dream to set a goal to yourself, okay? And then the second D I call desire, okay? You have to desire to work for it. You had to go out and get it, earn it. I worked since I was 14 years old. I was a busboy, a waiter, a cook, a dishwasher. I was lifeguard. I was a grinder. I do a little welder. I mean, I did everything. I will go out and work for it. It's nothing came to you. You know, there's not many people got stuff that fall in your laps. And then and the third D I call dissatisfy. It is kind of tough to explain this one. I mean, if you become satisfied, you tend to stop trying. You're complacent. You kind of stop, and so you have to dissatisfy to move on to the next level or next goal or and so that's how I try to live my life and my business, and I stop. But of course, with the family support and with the I love what Southwest Tube used to say, Ashley, where your people make the difference. I mean, I have over 400 employees. It's not me that did all this stuff. I just did, but it's them, the one that create what I got. I mean, and that's Mr. Weber put that. That's what I believe in. So, well, like I say, I make it short and sweet and hard to talk about your life, but thank you very much. And like I say, God bless you and God bless America, and thank you.
Thank you very much for being here this evening. And we're going to take a few minutes to answer some questions. I'm going to ask that if you have a question, wait until I can get this microphone back to you, because we do have folks watching online and they won't be able to hear otherwise. And if you do have a question, please introduce yourself as well. And I would actually like to start. You've talked about a number of the challenges that you faced. If you could rank them, what are the three most difficult aspects? Was it the English ability? Was it the fact that you had no family resources around? What were the three biggest challenges you had?
The biggest challenge was really the resource and the money. I mean, the English, I feel like it was hard at first, but it's come to you so fast when you have to learn it. When you have to do something, seem like it's come a little faster. I mean, I didn't like I said, I was have first grade the best, but level, but for some reason it's just like that whole year of 8th grade. I mean, I just picked it up. I don't know how. I don't know what. It just came to you a lot easier. But the challenge was the social, the money, the I mean, I'm going to tell you, I own a restaurant, right? Breakfast especially. I can't eat oatmeal to this day because the first 3 months when I came to the United States, Mr. Steely make us eat oatmeal and milk every morning for so long that I can't eat it to this day. Okay, and then so that's just the stuff like that. It's just the social and the culture. You just had to. Adapting. That's the hardest.
Adapting. Well, I know it's hard to speak about your own life, particularly when you have family members who might argue with you about how that happened. So, what other questions are there for Ban Nguyen?
Hi, my name is Kara Eubanks. I'm the Academic Programs Coordinator here in the School of Global Studies and Partnerships. I first want to thank you for being so vulnerable with us tonight. I personally enjoyed hearing about your story, so much so that I couldn't choose just one question, so I have a two-part for you.
Okay.
First, I have to know, what's the story behind the name Jimmy's Egg? And second, if you could give one piece of advice to our new Stillwater neighbors relocating here in the next few months, what would it be?
By the way, I'm so proud of Dr. Kerber and the Stillwater community that plan to bring in 40 families from Afghanistan. I mean, that's incredible itself. I know they need your support and your help and all that. The name comes from the guy that we bought the restaurant from. His name is Jimmy Newman. Okay, and we bought the restaurant from him, and he's supposed to stay with me for 6 months to train us and all that stuff. So after a month and a half, so he took the money and ran. Yeah, and well, of course I didn't want to change it something else, like barn eggs or whatever egg, okay? And that's why I named my oldest son James. It stands for Jimmy. He's an OSU grad over here. So that's that. And then another funny story, like 10 years later, Jimmy Newman came back from Illinois somewhere. He goes, "Hey, partner, you done so well. What's in it for me?" I go, "Wait a minute." But that's how. And it's going to be tough for Afghanistan. I mean, I was very flexible about religion. I mean, I didn't really have a religion. I mean, they would Muslim and all that stuff. So and of course, I think the OSU probably will put a little program in for them to learn English and stuff. Yes, but like you say, your community to Stillwater is go gear up and ready for them to come. So I think that's a big help, because for our family, like I say, we left Fort Chaffee in 5 days. We wasn't prepared, and this guy was individual. He didn't help us much, and then he's my brother here. I love him. He took a big sacrifice. He was second year of law school in Vietnam, but he came to the United States, and he kind of in the middle of age, and he couldn't go back to school. He couldn't go do anything, so he came to help Dad support the family, and I used to wake him up at 7 o'clock in the morning. He worked till midnight. And he go, "Can you take me to school? I can't take the bus, or I can't walk to school." So thank you.
Anybody else?
Hi, my name's Andrea.
Hi, Andrea.
The Global Studies program. Thank you for coming and talking with us tonight. And I was curious, was your family able to maintain your traditions and culture here? Was that an issue at all? Were you more enthusiastic to take things in, or focused more on keeping your own culture? How did you balance that, or what was the balance?
Yeah, at home, first few years, we really trying to be Americanized. And we start talking English at home, and we trying to be Americanized, and later on in life, when I got married to my wife, she speak more Vietnamese, so I had to relearn my Vietnamese. Yes, but of course, first few years we didn't know what to expect, so we trying to be more Americanized, not just everything American. I mean, I remember watching Gilligan Island. That's how I learned English, and Tom and Jerry and stuff like that, But the early year we trying to convert to Americanized, but like I said, the late on the year we came back to our root and trying to be more culture. I mean both. But nowadays, I've been here so long, I was here when I was 13, I think in English. So.
Is there somebody over here? I thought I saw.
Do you feel that you and your family was discriminated against when you came over?
Yes. I did when I was young, at school for sure. I don't know about the rest of my family, but you know, if you know about Tulsa Roosevelt, it's just the worst junior high school there is in Tulsa. So I know I did big time, but I don't know about my family. I think my older brother, he worked at Netco, and he have a lot of that when he start work too. Yes, but yeah.
My name is Nguyen. I would like to add something for my brother about the refugee when we first come to the United States. Because back then in 75, I'm already 22 years old. Barney is just like 10 or 12. The first thing you as a new refugee come to this country, I think the most important thing is learn the language. Number two thing is be patient, not because of different skin, different religions, and different culture that stop you from joining in with the society. Because American is the land of opportunity. Soon you can learn the language. You have to find you something you like to do, even hard labor or low paying job. But if you work hard enough, the opportunity will come to you. And the third thing is, of course, in every society, they have some good people, some bad people. Maybe because of your your religious, don't use it against American, because a lot of nice people around. So my advice to all the new citizens from other country come to this country, just be prepared, be patient, and learn the language, and then try to blend in with the society. That's all I had to say. Thank you very much.
VJ keep telling me he gonna ask me questions, so you need to give him that.
Okay, I guess I'll turn it over to you.
I'm VJ Jazivar, good friend of Bon. Bon, in spite of Eskimo Joe and U.S. Marines, you were able to succeed in life, and I want to congratulate you for all your achievement. Congratulate your family. It's very difficult when at your age somebody drop you in a plane and you're crying. But I have to congratulate your parents for their courage. That's tough to let your kid go a place you don't even have a clue where it's going. I remember when my kids were enrolled in a Trinity University in San Antonio, only 400 miles away. I was nervous wreck. I can just imagine your parents
Well, yeah.
sending you somewhere they have no clue they're even going to join you. But you made them proud. You made them proud. Your brother over there made them proud. That's what this country is all about.
Yep.
Thank you.
Hallelujah. Thank you. No, it's just no. I remember my mom was devastated when she sent my sister and I, and this is not a true story. I have a German Shepherd. That's my dog. Okay. I left a week before my rest of my family. The day I left, that dog know something happened, and my mom would tell me he stopped eating on the day I left. To 7 days later, when my rest of my family leave too, he stopped eating. So that was how incredible the whole thing was. So it's.
Do we have any more questions? One more over here.
Hello. My name is Aaron Chambers. I'm a MIS and Finance undergrad student, and I was curious. You said that you graduated with a MIS major, and I was curious how that helped you, like in your business journey with Jimmy's Eggs.
It's helped me the first 3 years of I call my first job. Okay. And then with with Jimmy's Egg, I able to make some key decision, management. I did not take a lot of information there, but I able to learn the management skill that I can make the right decision, or I make a lot of risky decision or safe decision. That's what MIS did for me. And then through the years, and I have to make a lot of that big key decision for what I had to do. So yes, it did help. Okay.
I would like to ask you a question. What do you think was the worst assumption that Americans made about you and the Vietnamese who were coming to the United States? What was the assumption that created the most damage?
Oh boy, that's a tough question. Like I said, I was too young to really realize in the business world in that situation. I only know that when I was young, everybody, all the guy in junior high school, they think I know Kung Fu. so they always want to challenge me. That's the worst assumption. But when I start getting older and success in business world, I don't see that much. But I can see the Afghanistan coming over. I hope people are not going to say, "Hey, I just beat up this Taliban or thing like that, or this terrorist." I mean, that's, there's 99% of refugee coming over, or they just want a better life, better family for their family or to live, and for a betting odd, I take that 99% odd any day, and the TV or not, they only focus on that 1%, and they turn a negative thing out of the whole thing, And I take that 99% odd on anybody or any days of the week.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for that. That's terrific.
Thank you.
Well, Nguyen, we at Oklahoma State University are tremendously proud of what you've done. We're tremendously proud to have been the one university that accepted you.
Hallelujah. Go Pokes. Go Pokes.
Thank you for sharing your story with us tonight. Thanks to everyone who's here, Bon's family, friends from across the state and the community, the students at School of Global Studies, and all of those who are joining us online. Thank you again. for being here.
Thank you. Thank you.